You want to start with Sydney?
Yeah. Sorry, Sydney. World record. I vividly remember yesterday, you just like off the cuff, just making it a guarantee. Yep, Sydney's going to break the world record tomorrow, as if it was not that big of a deal. And you're casual, just accepting that she is going to be the next world record holder was very fortuitous because it happened. And she looked so perfect over pretty much every hurdle. And then she just had that extra jolt, her like fifth gear in the final 50 meters, which is what like secured the world record. Because when I was watching it, having Dalilah Muhammad, the world record holder, on her outside allowed her just to key off her for the first 8 hurdles, where all she had to do is like, hey, just use Dalilah was basically her rabbit for 330 meters. And then once they got to that final home stretch, then I was like, all right, now I got to use my speed that I have, that I've trained in doing the 100-meter hurdles, and basically accelerate in that final 50, which resulted in a sub 52. And it's just crazy. I mean, what was the world record in the 400 hurdles before Dalilah broke it? Back in the first time she broke it.
You're talking pre-trials or U.S. championships in 2019, 52:34.
Yeah, but was that Dalilah's? Like, what was like the old?
That's the mark Dalilah broke, was 52:34.
Okay.
And now we're down to 51:90.
Yeah.
You're right, though. So Sydney,
it's a big jump.
Sydney's strength is the close. We saw that even in the races that she lost to Dalilah, she would usually make up ground in that last little stretch. And when she was even coming off the home stretch, I think you're right. She used Muhammad to key off of her. And then 9 and 10 really pulled away. But I mean, credit to Muhammad in this race, who has not had a smooth buildup by any means, goes out there and runs 52:42, her third best time in history, I believe, for Dalilah Muhammad. And every time these two get together, it's just in a championship race, it's just iconic. It's Magic and Bird, right? It's Federer and Nadal. It's like they bring the absolute best out of each other. And to see Sydney's beaten her in the past, but not in the championship setting. She'd get her in the Diamond Leagues, and those were good wins, quality wins. But to see it in a championship race was something else. And I don't know if Travis can pull up the photo. This would require some expert digging from you, Travis. When Muhammad broke it in 2019 in Des Moines, remember Sydney had that shocked look on her face? I don't know if you guys remember that one. And then tonight, she had that same completely shocked look on her face, but it was for her world record. So it just kind of shows you how the two are completely intertwined in history now in this event, because it's only been 2 years, but we've gotten to see the record get passed back and forth. And it's not like the other one's not in the picture, right? Like, at hurdle 7, Muhammad's still not out of it. Hurdle 8, Muhammad's still not out of this. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, is Muhammad going to run even better? So here it is. Yeah, put this up. This is 2019. This is Des Moines when Muhammad's breaking the world record. Completely stunned, right? And credit to them. They seem to be like great sports about it. And then today she made that similar expression, but when she looked up at the clock, Gordon, she saw 51 starting it. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's only 21. I'm just thinking, what is the potential? Like, when you break a world record at such a young age, you think, like, she still has yet to really enter her prime, in my mind. I mean, sprinters' prime sometime are a little bit younger than a distance person's prime, but you have to think that 22, 23, 24, she should be even better than what she is now. And it's just unfathomable to think where she goes from here, because she didn't just break the world record by like 0.01 or 0.04. She got to a new level, the sub 52 mark, 51.9. I'm excited to see what these next, she has 5 championship cycles coming up, right?
Yeah.
With the world championships and the 2 Olympics. It's just going to be Sydney mania. I mean, we already had Sydney mania when she was in high school and on the up and coming, but now that she now officially can say she is the best in the world currently and all time, it's going to just go to a different level with the amount of Sydney hype going into every championship season.
Well, and credit her because she's had a lot of attention on her for years now. She was in this meet in 2016 as a high schooler, and she was tabbed to be the next great American sprinter even before that, even before she made her appearance in the Olympic trials. People in the track and field community were talking about her, and she's lived up to it, and that's so hard. There's so many phenoms who, for whatever reason, some that are completely out of their control, never make it to that even close to the level that Sydney's managed to get to. I got to mention one thing though, Gordon, before we talk about something else. Did you hear the 3-word phrase that Sydney mentioned several times in her post-race interview?
I did.
Did it
And
hurt you?
speaking of the process, I'm kind of excited about the new trust in the process because even though we had a great track and field championship today, about a few hours earlier, Chris Hayes of the Yahoo Sports said a certain Dame Lillard out in Portland may be on his
All
way
right.
out, and that is the ultimate process, Dame Lillard and Joel Embiid. But I should not. I shouldn't
No,
be turning this into a Sixers podcast. This is about the track and field, but I just want to say that trust the process. She did trust the process, and as soon as she did say it, I was watching it with JoJo, and JoJo looked at me and she's like, "Why does everyone say that?" So
just
I
to
was like, "I
make
don't
you
know."
remember, just to make
Yeah,
you remember what you're trying to forget. Okay, so Muhammad, great race. I would not, with her, how short her buildup was, and she's mentioned in the post race interview, she ran 55 a couple weeks ago. And they've talked about getting to sub 52. When she broke the world record, I remember her coach, Boogie Johnson, had mentioned, yeah, like sub 52 is possible. We're not at the end of the potential world record breaking in this era with the 400-meter hurdles. So I think Muhammad's got another card to play here. I don't know but Sydney also probably has a level up that she can go to. I was just really impressed that Muhammad was able to run that fast. And I think if you told her going in, hey, you're going to run 52.4 in the final, she'd be happy. And then in third, Anna Cockrell breaks her old PB by almost a second. Gordon goes 53.70. And we had talked going into the meet. Remember, we said, is her better chance in the high hurdles or the low hurdles? NCAA champ in both, but you're looking at the high hurdles and you're looking at the low hurdle fields and you're looking at the 400-meter hurdles and you're seeing Sydney, you're seeing Delilah, you're seeing Shamir Little, and you're thinking, man, her best chance might be in the event that she's not as good in the high hurdles. Turns out, no. Outside lane didn't matter, and Anna Cockrell is on the Olympic team.
the U.S. Women's 400 team is the one event where I wish we had 4 athletes go. I wish we had like some way to do the auto like you do at World Champs, where you had defending champion gets the auto. Because I have like not personal thing, but like I really was impressed with what Shamir Little did this regular season. And I was
Yeah.
really looking forward to her making her first Olympic team. I thought that she was in line to have a big breakout, postseason. But on the same time, I also was very excited about Anna Cockrell, who we saw what happened to her back in 2019 with the USC 4x4, just dealing with all that, and then coming on strong and being always kind of being in the shadows of Sydney because they're kind of in the same age. And then you would think, hey, I want Anna Cockrell to make the team. And it's one of those weird things where it's like, you wish there was 4 spot. You wish you could split that 3rd spot between Shamir and Anna. And unfortunately, obviously, you can't do that. Shamir said on Twitter, I have a little surprise for tonight's final. Hope you all love it. But unfortunately, I mean, it was a surprise. I mean, we got a world record. But man, I really want Shamir. I really wanted Shamir Little on that team. I really wanted Anna Cockrell on the team. I was trying to hedge by putting Cockrell on the short hurdles team. I was like, okay, so they both can be on it. But then once she didn't make the 100 hurdle team, I knew I was going to have to be disappointed one way or the other. But Anna Cockrell, man, that post-race interview where she was getting super emotional about not believing in herself back in 2019, and then 2 years later, she's, going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's just wild. But I'm hoping.
Feel for Little, hits the
I feel for
hurdle. She had a
Little.
great season. Hits the hurdle,
She
and
did.
like her rhythm gets all thrown off at that point. And it's got to be tough. She's on the inside looking at McLaughlin and Muhammad. That's just got to be tough. I mean, I know you want, it's an advantage to see your competition. You don't want to be running out there with blinders on, but yeah, it's rough. But credit to Cockrell. Yeah, the emotion in her interview. I remember we talked about this during the NCAA show because 2019 she took the team loss personally, USC, when she dropped the baton. Always been really gracious with her time and really open about what she's going through. So that women's 4-meter hurdle team is going to be stacked going to Tokyo as we expected. And all the races in the interim, I hope we get to see a Diamond League or two, Gordon, with Muhammad and
Yeah.
McLaughlin. And I don't want to get greedy, but I hope we get to see at least one before the Olympics.